Hey y'all, it's a garden update, a little bit of everything. Nature is showing up today and I am so here for it. This is the tomato growing on the living trellis. Yesterday I had to come in here and trim off a bunch of new growth from the trees they filled in, and it was shading the tomato plant so much that nothing could see it, and it doesn't have any flowers because it wasn't getting enough sunlight. And it was really cool because I discovered that one of my Anoles lives in this trellis and usually parks itself right there on these little twigs, just waiting for something to try and munch on the tomato plant. And so the tomato plant is in excellent shape. It doesn't have any predation on it whatsoever. So building the little reptile habitats has definitely paid off big time. I'm going to pause it and go over to another area. It's kind of like hard to walk because of all the trees. I'm gonna have to cut them back. I've got to have a pathway. Okay, I finally put my fig in the ground. I've had it for a while, and I kind of had it sitting near the area where I wanted to plant it initially, but the sun in that spot is just too intense, and it was suffering. You can see it's got a little bit of UV damage right there. That's not a nutritional deficiency, but it's not bad, because I noticed that it was struggling, and then put it in an area that gets some afternoon shade, and thought about it for a long time, where I could put it, because I really wanted it to be in the garden. And so I decided on this spot because it gets afternoon shade from those trees that are growing. I spread out a bunch of corn in this area because a few years ago I managed to breed this giant bantam corn that got, and I'm not even kidding, the highest I measured, I think, was 12 or 13 feet. And I sent some up to Maine to see how they did up there. And theirs grew to 15 feet tall. But they stopped producing corn. And so I got new bantam seeds, and I spread out the old ones, and I spread out the new ones to hopefully come up and back breed so that I can still get the size but also get a yield out of them. And I'm going to pause and go over to the other area that I can't really walk to very well. Okay, so that is a watermelon that's been there forever. I put a little bit of worm castings around it that I actually found in the yard. Ew, I gotta get this mud off this one. I sprayed it, but I'll have to come back and spray it. That'll actually damage the plant. One is another watermelon that's not looking so hot, and a giant sunflower that I didn't plant. I don't think. I might have broadcast it, or it could just be a weed. I do let the weeds grow because I don't understand how this works, but this is how it works. Whatever your soil is lacking, the weeds that grow there will actually replace it. It works kind of like beans. You know how they say beans are nitrogen fixers? Well, weeds are, nutrient fixers or mineral fixers. So you can chop and drop them if you want. Just leave the root system in place for the biological life, like the mycorrhizal fungi and stuff, and then let the weed, the top of it, decompose right where it's at, and it's gonna put in whatever your soil is lacking. This is one of those, like a month ago, I found some plants that were on the clearance rack at Walmart. This was one of them, but it was a lot smaller, and it was $2. And so I put it in the garden with a koi and koi cole. Let me correct that. That little plant, which is like a cucumber, if I remember. Kind of forgotten. It's been a while. And lastly, underneath this lid, right next to this pink crock that belongs to my kid, there was a cooler that I use when I am cleaning out the fish filters to capture the water, because the plants really love it. And since it's been a little bit and it's rained and whatever, I flipped it over, and there was these huge fat iridescent long worms. They almost look like snakes. I guess they're night crawlers, maybe. I have no idea how they got here, but like this area, when I put fresh water into the pond, the spent water just kind of like drains down here, and it was covered, and there was this grass and stuff, and I don't know, they just showed up. I've like never seen that happen, but they are beautiful. And oh, is that one? Hold on. Oh no, that's a slug. Dang it. Don't worry, the lizards will get it. But yeah, so I just moved them to kind of where the water is draining right now, and because it goes into the garden, and they'll be able to bury themselves in there, and there's plenty for them to eat, like koi coal and compost and food scraps and stuff like that. So I'm having a wonderful day, and I haven't even really started yet. So this is exciting. It's just like everywhere I go, there's life and things are trying. Not everything is doing good, but that's okay. All of this is just learning how to do it better.